Hello everyone, welcome back to Bumble Stitches Flossmas. This is the second Flossmas episode of this year, 2024, not 2025. As I said in the last video, I was totally getting carried away with myself. I hope you've all been well. I hope you're all enjoying all the wonderful festive videos that are going out from floss tubers and various YouTube channels. I'm working on compiling quite a few names of people that are doing these videos, and I'll get that on the video on Sunday. I'm not unfortunately going to have time today. It's now it's coming up for 7 o'clock. It's been a really busy day at work and I'm just running out of time to do all the things. So let's get on with some of the things I wanted to share with you this evening. One thing I will say is that Alfred has become completely, well, he's a diva, basically, since his appearance on the first Flossmas edition and all your wonderful comments about him. We can't do a thing with him. He's basically walking around like he owns the house, which pretty much is how he is all the time. But he doesn't have an advent tonight, but he does have some of his treats left. So I will get him in for one of those. Anyway, for all you Alfie fans out there. So I've been doing a little bit of Christmas stitching since I saw you last. Not a huge amount, but I did manage to do some more work on the snowball, which is, I've decided to be a focus project for this festive season, or this run up to the festive season. And I previously shared with you this top one. These are not iron. This is all flying off by the seat of my pants kinds of videos at the moment. There's the first one that I'd completed. Then I worked on the snow globe and I got him finished, and I think he's really, really sweet. These are all on 36 count vintage country mocha linen from Zweigart, and I have made a tiny start, a really tiny start on the next one, which I'll show you the chart. It's going to be this one here, Winter Wonderland. So I'm really enjoying stitching these. It's nice, relaxing stitching in this busy time. So hoping to get some FFOs done. I don't know when. I do have to go to work on Saturday morning, unfortunately, so that's going to eat into time, and I do want to get the decorations up. But what I need is a little team of elves. So if you want to come and volunteer to help me get my Christmas ready, yeah, I'll provide lots of milk and cookies. So yeah, that would be really nice, wouldn't it, to have a little team of elves. I'm getting carried away as usual. The next project that I worked on is, I showed you last Flossmas episode. It's Snow Magical. This is the one I wanted to start, and I have made a tiny start on it. Again, it's Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, and I have made a tiny start on him. I've got one of the little red cardinals there, his hat, and I'm starting on his snowy head. Now I'm stitching this on 40 count linen, so this one's not one for later in the evening. This is one for when I first start stitching, because it needs to be the right size. The pattern calls for a 40 count linen, and I think it comes out round about finished size about 5. I think you cut a 5-inch circle of mount board to finish it. And I couldn't get hold of the Chantel's 141 Design Company Snow Globe finishing piece. So I have, I've got my own little finish planned, which I think will go really nicely, seeing as he's a little snowman in the woods with all the little trees around him. So mine is going to sit on this little piece of wood that I've shared before, which I picked up in Hobbycraft, just like a little slice of tree trunk with the bark on. And I wasn't sure how I was going to sort of display it. It's just a piece of wood after all. So one of our lovely chaps in my company was doing some work with a mitre saw, and he cut me a little piece of wood. So I have now got, I'll glue this obviously in the right place. So this will now stand up. It's a little stand up, and I'm going to mount, I don't know what his name is. The chart's called Snow Magical. We'll call him Frosty. He's going to sit on there. I'll mount him onto a circular piece of sticky board or something similar and hot glue this to the back. So that is definitely a plan. I don't know if he's going to get done this year. We will try. I pulled some flosses for this piece. I wasn't sure on the white. I didn't have the white that was called for. So I pulled Classic Colourworks Snowball, which is a little bit too stark white. Then I pulled 12 grain by Classic Colourworks, and in the end I went with DMC 3865, which I'm using on the other Snowball charts. And then I've got a little combination of a couple of the called for DMCs. I think the Classic Colourworks Really Tealy, if I can get those out of the way, that's the called for his Fair Isle sweater. And then I've just done a bit of a mix and match for the red and the brown. I think the browns are correct, but I'm sure he'll work out just fine. And what I did, I'm waiting for them to come tomorrow. I've ordered some small iridescent clear sequins to add onto these snowy pieces in place or on top of some of these snowflakes. So I think they'll look really, really pretty. Totally inspired by Katie Strachan, because she does a lot of that, doesn't she, with those really pretty little sequins on her pieces. So that's the stitching that I've been up to. As I said, it hasn't been much. It's getting hectic. It really is getting hectic. Now, as you know, I have my Liberty, my reinvented Liberty Advent calendar behind me, and so many of you have said what a good idea it is, and thank you for that. I appreciate it. First of all, I thought, oh, this is a bit ridiculous of me putting my own calendar together, but so many of you said that you've had calendars in the past and you've been a bit disappointed with some of the gifts that you've received, and sort of questioned whether they were actually good value for money. So yeah, as I mentioned before, I do know everything inside my calendar is something that I either wanted or need for a certain project. So I have got 4 days of my calendar to share with you today. And so that I didn't faff around, I've pulled the drawers out so that I can see which ones are coming next. You might not be able to pick that up on camera. Otherwise, it's a little bit tricky to see which day is which. They've got nice gold embossing on numbers on the drawers, but yeah, I didn't want to faff around, so I'm doing that anyway, aren't I? So let me just start with day number 2, which is in this little drawer here, number 2, and let's have a little rummage. Let's take the crinkly paper out, and we have got a skein of Weeks Dye Works floss in Baby's Breath. Gorgeous. And I have specifically chosen to put these flosses in my calendar because they are needed in some of the upcoming Stacey Nash animal cracker charts that I want to stitch. And speaking of which, if you've seen Stacey Nash's Instagram posts, she dropped a really big hint about the exclusive charts she has for the Jingle Ball, which is of course this weekend, and there are some new animal crackers, so I am beyond excited to get my hands on those in the shopping haul. So let's pop number 2 back. Number 3 is this bigger one here. So here's number 3, and let's have a little look. It's quite a lot of packing. Now this is, we're still on the Stacey. I cannot say Stacey Nash without getting my tongue in a twist. This is a piece of Blackberry Primitives wool that I picked up from Cowslip Workshops, and I bought this as the to do the finishing of the class that I'm taking of Stacey Nash at the Jingle Ball, which is the gingerbread needle book one. I haven't got it with me, it's in the lounge, but I'm sure you're familiar with it. They'd sold out of the actual colour, which I think it was rosewood or something like that, or old rose. This is called Apple Blossom. It's looking a bit wishy-washy on the camera here, but it's actually a really nice sort of rosy colour, so I think it will work really, really well. And I thought I'll pop that in my Advent, and I know that it will be just perfect for finishing that class. So what's next? Let's pop number 3 back, and then number 4 is just a little tiny one. We can close one of those doors. Number 4 here. It's quite fun opening so many at once. And There we go. It's another week's dye works, and this one is Deep Sea. Beautiful blue. I'm really, of all the flosses that I'm using at the moment, Weeks seem to be my absolute favourite. Would love to have a full set of Weeks dye works. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think there are clubs that you can join, so maybe I need to look at that as something for next year. And my final advent that I'll be opening today is actually today's, which is number 5. No, that's 15. Uh-oh, the wheel's fallen off. Where's number 5? Here it is, number 5. Nearly went all wrong, didn't it? There's number 5, and you can probably guess what's going to be in this little drawer. It's another piece of gorgeous Weeks Dye Works floss in the colour Marmalade. Absolutely gorgeous. So here's my little haul for those 4 days. Some gorgeous flosses, and of course my lovely Blackberry Primitives wool. So I'd say that's a pretty nice stash for 4 days worth of my advent. So I'm going to pop that back in there and close this up, and then I shall go and get the star of the show to have his little treat, and then we'll leave it after that. So just bear with us 1 second and I'll be right back. What do we do? Okay, we are back. Alf's on the ironing board. Of course, the tail is going. You know what that means, everybody. Okay, Alfie, can you sit? Can you sit? Good boy. These are some of his treats from his last Advent Sunday from Linda. Say thank you to Linda. And this time he's going to turn around so he can actually see. So Alfie this way. No, he's not going to turn around. He's nearly had my fingers with it. There you go. So we're going to leave it there. I did pop a little tiny bit of footage of one of our rather wet, dark walks this week, but there are a few Christmas lights that are in, just up the road from us. So we'll leave it there, and we'll see you on Sunday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.